Panic buying is wrong. You don't need all the pasta and toilet roll in the world, other people need some too. Stay indoors, shop as you normally would when you go to the supermarkets, and don't be a Doyle. Panic buying isn't a new thing though, it's been happening in football for years and years. And while today panic buying is very bad, don't do it, the current 20 Premier League teams have had varying degrees of success with panic buys, but on the whole, it's been bad. Arsenal, Mikel Arteta. In August 2011, Arsenal sold Cesc Fabregas to Barcelona, but replacing him wasn't easy. 2 weeks after the skipper left, Arsenal was still no closer to a new centre midfielder to fill the hole Fabregas left. Come transfer deadline day, and in a panic, the Gunners looked to Merseyside and brought in Mikel Arteta from Everton, paying £10 million for his services. On the face of it, it looked like the Gunners had just found another Spanish midfielder who was a little bit cheaper in hope that no one would notice. But he ended up being much more than that, enjoying a few good years at the Emirates before retiring, even if he never matched Fabregas' quality. Obviously Arteta made a big enough impression, otherwise he probably wouldn't be manager right now. Chelsea, Mateo Kovacic. This was a panic buy with a twist, as it came nowhere near a deadline day. But with Chelsea under a transfer ban, as well as bringing in a new manager and losing best player Eden Hazard, they were slightly up against it. Lampard couldn't bring in anyone but Mateo Kovacic. The midfielder had been on loan the previous year, and since he was already registered with the club, he could be signed permanently. Would they have signed him if there'd been no ban? I don't think so, but Kovacic has proven his worth, performing a lot better this season following his £40 million move from Real Madrid. Liverpool, Andy Carroll. Who else was it going to be? Liverpool splashed out £35 million on Andy Carroll on January 31st, 2011, completing the deal just before the window shut. But why were they so desperate to sign a striker who didn't fit their style of play whatsoever? Well, Fernando Torres was on his way to Chelsea for £50 million and the Reds needed a new number 9. It was a disaster at Anfield for Carroll, but that deadline day wasn't all bad. At least Luis Suarez proved he could fill the void left by Torres and make up for Carroll's shortcomings as well. Manchester City, Claudio Bravo. When Pep Guardiola arrived at Man City, goalkeeping was no longer just about saving shots. It was about playing out from the back, composure in possession, and starting attacks from deep. And as the transfer window began to wind down, it became clear that Pep needed someone else rather than Caballero and Joe Hart. In a panic, Claudio Bravo arrived, but he ended up doing more bad than good. He was so poor, City had to invest even more money the following summer, with Edison finally providing the solution to their problems. Manchester United, Odion Ighalo. A recent signing and a man that epitomised the panic buy. Manchester United were desperate for a striker in January, being linked with every name under the sun. And on deadline day their prayers were answered, kind of. Odion Ighalo would ride from Shanghai Greenland Shenhua on loan, to a sea of laughter from everyone who wasn't a Man United fan. Oh, how the mighty had fallen, we all said. But to be fair to Ighalo, he's done alright, netting a few goals in the cups to quieten some of the doubters. Tottenham, Moussa Sissoko. Following relegation, Moussa Sissoko desperately wanted out of Newcastle, but he had to wait until transfer deadline day 2016 to get his wish. Tottenham came to his rescue, paying a ridiculous £30 million for a player that didn't even look like they needed. Sissoko wasn't technically sound, so didn't even look like a Pochettino player, and it reflected in his first season, where he was woeful for Spurs. Fortunately for both parties, Sissoko came good, meaning they somehow got away with what at the time looked like one of the worst panic buys in Premier League history.